So let's start by looking at the differences between a single opt-in and a double opt-in policy for your email. So if you think about typically the way you collect subscribers is using a form. It's either an opt-in form embedded on a web page normally or a landing page. So let's imagine we are going to collect two bits of information, and here we collect, say, the first name, and then in there would be the email address. Down here we would have a button that the user clicks on to submit their details. Now what happens typically is that information collected is then sent to Kit, the email marketing system, and the two bits of data. So for this person, for this subscriber, they'll have two pieces of data. One is their name and one is their email address. Now, because this is a single opt-in policy, what happens immediately when that information is sent over to Kit, that subscriber is then marked as a confirmed subscriber, and they get a tick against the name. Now, because they're a confirmed subscriber, we can now start to send them emails. Okay. Now, there are some downsides to having a single opt-in, and I'll speak to those in a moment. But let's now look at what a double opt-in policy looks like. So let's use this red colour here. So again, we've got the same opt-in form. We've got the name, email address, and the submit button. Now this time when we send the data across to Kit, so Kit again over here, and we send the same data over, the name and the email address. So the subscribers in there, we get the two pieces of information, but this time they are marked as an unconfirmed subscriber. Okay, so they are not yet confirmed. Then what happens is Kit then sends a message via email to the subscriber to say, first of all, was it you that sent that email? Was it you sent that request to join my email list? If it was you, please click the confirm button, and we have a confirm button on here to let me know that it was you and you want to join my list. And normally it's also to get like a lead magnet of some sort, some downloadable PDF or access to a video or something that you're going to exchange with them. If the subscriber then clicks on this button, then we send another message back to Kit to say, yep, we ticked that, we clicked that confirm button, and we now know that that's definitely that person who subscribed and they have access to that email account. Then what happens in here is at this point we then switch from being a confirmed subscriber to now, an unconfirmed subscriber to now being a confirmed subscriber, and they get the green tick. So we can now start to send them emails. So hopefully you can see now the main difference is with single opt-in, we just send the data and they're marked as confirmed regardless of what the data looks like. With a double opt-in, send the data to Kit. Kit then sends an email back and says, can you click this button to confirm it's you? And then when they click that, we marked as confirmed. The obvious downside to the top one, albeit it's a simpler model and easier for people to subscribe to, the obvious downside here is they could, people up here could, they could spell their name wrong, so a typo. They could use a fictitious email address, just trying to get the thing that they're looking for, or they could use someone else's. So they could use someone, there's nothing stopping someone from, for example, typing my email address in without me knowing I'm now subscribed to that email list. So these are the things that you're leaving yourself exposed to if you use a single opt-in. There's other things as well, but those are the main things. These types of things can sometimes affect your email deliverability and perhaps even your sender reputation if they're not managed properly. Now, there's lots of, just to be clear, there's lots of email marketers out there who use a single opt-in policy in their email marketing system. and it works wonderfully well for them. But that's not only because internally they'll have some sort of automation in place that takes care of these erroneous emails that may appear inside the list. For example, there may be an automation to unsubscribe those subscribers who don't engage or open emails, etc. All these things are pretty much taken care of in the double opt-in policy, because it needs to be a genuine email address in order for the email to be sent, asking them to confirm it. They need to own or have access to the email address because they need to click on the button. And if there's a typo, then the email will simply bounce and they'll never get there. Okay, so these are all safeguards to keep your email list as clean as possible. So if you're just getting started in email, these are the two main choices. So you've got a single opt-in here and a double opt-in policy down here. Which one of these two you go with is entirely up to you. It's a personal preference. My recommendation, if you're just getting started and you want something that's clean and works, would be to start with a double opt-in policy. And I'll just guarantee you of a nice clean list, at least to begin with, until you start to become familiar with how email marketing works and how Kit works. So I'm now going to switch to my laptop and I'll show you inside Kit how you can set both a single opt-in policy and a double opt-in policy. And by the way, this can be set at an opt-in level, an opt-in form level. In other words, you could have some forms that are single opt-in and other forms that are double opt-in. It's not necessarily a site-wide policy. You've got the option to split that if you like. So let's jump over to the Kit desktop and I'll show you how you can configure that inside Kit. Okay, so now we're back inside the Kit desktop. I'm going to quickly show you how you can either employ a single opt-in policy or a double opt-in policy for your opt-in forms and your landing pages. So let's click on Grow Landing Pages and Forms. Doesn't matter which one I pick. When I create a new one, doesn't matter if it's a form or landing page, the same applies. So I'll click the form, click Inline, I choose this one. And then all this stuff about single and double opt-in happens under this tab here. It says Settings. So I'm going to click on Settings. The third one down, it says Incentive. This is where we decide about the single opt-in policy or a double opt-in policy. Now, if you leave things as they are, you'll be employing a double opt-in policy because that's the default. There's two ways of making it a single opt-in policy. The first way is if you simply deselect that incentive email. Okay, so the incentive email, if you're not familiar with that, is essentially the email that goes to the subscriber after they've submitted their details, just to say, please confirm that was you that asked to join the list, and they need to hit this confirm button, and they then become a confirmed subscriber. If I deselect that box to say don't send an incentive email, then by default I'm now switching to a single opt-in policy. Okay, so I'm going to reselect that again. The other way you can do it is you can still send an incentive email if you want, but you can choose to auto confirm your new subscribers. Okay, so two things are happening here. You're going to send them an incentive email with content in there that you want them to see, maybe a button to click on, but irrespective of whether they click on that button or not, you're automatically confirming them as subscribers by checking this box here. So that's the other way you can do it. You'll also notice that if you do select that checkbox there, this little URL, this little link pops up just to say why you should not auto-confirm subscribers. And if you click on that article and read it, you'll essentially find that they talk about the same things that I explained to you about fake emails and typos, those types of stuff is what you're leaving yourself exposed to. So the default behavior for every form and landing page is a double opt-in. If you want to employ double opt-in, then there's nothing really you need to do. But if you want to employ a single opt-in policy, then that's the two ways in which you can do it via the settings on the form. So I hope that's helpful. I hope that clarified the difference between a single opt-in and a double opt-in policy. And I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Cheers.